Hello everybody, this is some old photos and stuff that my daughter made when she lived with me. I had her in my life until I was 10, and my daughter is now, after 10 years of not seeing me, is accusing me of beating the shit out of her all the time. And there's nothing in any record that says that, whatever. This is just manipulating the record to get what they want after the fact. But it's clear that she probably has Stockholm Syndrome at this point. If she were to see a valid psychologist. But anyway, these are the words of an abused child. And that's her pet. She always loved animals. That's Tigger. We had a neighbor who she tried to befriend, but they were, I don't know, I guess didn't like my daughter. But there you go. Love, 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 love. It's what you people destroyed. Take a good look at what you destroyed in my little girl. Because all I was trying to do was to protect her from some very dangerous people. A lot of people got hurt because of the machinations of her birth father and their family and the Taylors. All because they wanted to get what they wanted. Probate. And the next door neighbor that I had is pretending to be my long-lost sister and lied in the court record that they used, that big file that I have in a different video. And she is not my sister. I don't have a sister named Kim Marshall. I never have. And now, I can't even correct it in the record because she won't stop harassing me. So she also assisted in kidnapping my daughter with Thomas. And some guy that was by the name of Brian Jackson married the Miss Arkansas there. Because I dated him briefly, but he used a fake name. This is my daughter when she's very young. Probably about 10 months old here. This is when I lived in New Hampshire still. And this is the woman that tried to befriend me, or Dawn Taylor. Take a good look at her. This is the woman that pretended to be my friend to steal my kid. Is her here. Is Teresa there, her daughter, Teresa Taylor. She too should be in jail for kidnapping and probate fraud and a whole host of other things. So when they get my daughter, they brainwashed my daughter. Actually, I wouldn't even call it. They muddled her mind, actually. There's no history of it. Oh, and I'm sure that their next one will be, you know, the usual tricks. She's 20 years old, and so she should see a psychologist for a diagnosis of Stockholm Syndrome. It's true that I had to fight with these people over my daughter her entire life. And they deceived me into a temporary guardianship that was only supposed to be 60 days. God forbid if I let them just kidnap her or babysit her, because they probably would have just kidnapped her outright. But I did not intend for her whole life. That's her when she was just born. This is a woman that I met who is related to the people that founded Samaritan's Purse. Yet yesterday she can't even give me a referral for emergency medical treatment for for a number of issues, but also for anti-helmet drugs, which they have easy access to. So Diane Savage, you're being called out for being a false friend. Nice to my face, probably. And something else behind closed doors, I don't know, because I don't know how you really live. But I do know it's not that hard to make a call to Samaritan's Purse, who's helping people with COVID-19. There you have it right there. This is when I lived in Reading, and I had to leave to protect our lives from a terrorist cell. Look at that. The face of an abused child. Look at that. And I hope you know I'm being sarcastic. This is Star Kobe, somebody I don't talk to anymore. Another false friend who, after I moved to Reading, deliberately dragged Thomas back into my case when he had no involvement for over 10 years. That's her when she was a toddler. There's Dawn's sister there, Susan Fraser. This is Diane Savage's son. I've never met him in person or anything like that. The woman here is Kathleen Werner, and another woman, I don't know who she is. I've met Kathleen Werner only a couple of times. This is a forced smile. You can tell, you know, when she's got to take the photo for school photos. This is a genuine smile right there. You can tell the difference. Look at that. Look at the face of an abused child. This is only like maybe a week before they took her. Playing with a cat in a box. Dog we had briefly when she did ballet. She always wanted to do ballet, so I decided to do that. And look at this. This is the duplex that I rented. And of course, they tried to say the place is filthy. By the way, that's how I lived in it. Look at that. Uh-oh. My daughter's got books on the floor. School books on the floor. Call CPS, DCYF, child abuse. Look at that filthy toilet, people. Yep. Look how filthy that bathroom is. The bathroom of an abused child. The bedroom of an abused child, right? Laundry on the floor. Oh no, God forbid you ever wash your clothes. Well, of course people wash their clothes. But you can't put it there to do laundry. Well, some people do that to sort it out. You got school materials on the floor. Well, this is a spare room. That's, you know, I was undoing things, looking at it or whatever. Who cares, you know? But there's nothing here to see anything out of the ordinary or filthy. You know, this is what these people do when they lie to steal kids. They come up with any and every excuse because their goal is just to steal your child. It's not anything about the truth. It's not even about abused children anymore. You want to know an abused child that they should have removed? The birth father of my child, his family, his mother, Brenda Clark, and her husband, Paul Thomas Clark. Thomas should have been removed from their home because they were abusive, and I even witnessed it. And it's no wonder the guy is a wreck. Now this is me catching her off guard. Does she look abused here? Look at that. Look at that. The face. Oh, she's totally abused there. Wow. Look at this. Yeah, just utterly abused. You know, complete nonsense. So I'm going to say this again. Take a good look at the words of an abused child. Look at that. Look at that. How abused. This is what you destroyed. Every single one of you. And my own family even. All over what? Over probate? Over revenge? What, am I guilty of the sins of my birth mother? You can ask Ben Fitzgerald. Apparently also Mr. Schurter, which I've never met in person. And I didn't even know he was involved in this, or even that he knew my uncle. Apparently they both know Francis Brown, and my uncle lived out in Nebraska. And he is telling the truth about pedophilia. My Uncle Harlan is a pedophile. So I'm not saying that there wasn't a reason to necessarily remove me from a tentative situation regarding my family. Just that I didn't deserve to be put in another family to be tossed around in a slave ring. Because as far as I'm considered, all sides are involved in this. And that's what they did. They just wanted the money. At least Tony did. They didn't want anything else. They didn't want to give me any time. They didn't want to give me any encouragement. I was just there. Just an extra tag-along. And it's obvious. Yep, so take a good look. Right there. How abused she must have been when she lived with me. You know, you disgust me. You disgust me because this country is supposed to be founded on the freedom of the Constitution. Or the Constitution is supposed to acknowledge the freedoms we already have. And here you have the government snatching children from loving parents.